Can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get another win under their belt in a rematch versus the New Orleans Saints? Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So, the last time these two teams played each other was all the way back in week number 8. The Bucs won 23-3. Since then, the Saints have gone 1-3, losing to the Rams, to the Falcons, and to the Dolphins. They did beat the Carolina Panthers, which does help the Buccaneers out a little bit, in my opinion. And then also the Buccaneers have gone 1-3 since these two teams have last played each other. They lost 3 in a row to the Patriots, Bills, and Rams, and they just beat the Arizona Cardinals. So both teams technically have the same past month of football in terms of wins and losses and whatnot. But this is still a Saints team that is trying to find their way. They find themselves at 2-10. They're scoring 15.2 points per game. That is 30th out of 32 teams in the NFL right now. They're allowing 24.6 points per game. That's 22nd out of 32 teams in the NFL right now as well. And actually, if you guys remember, that Saints game, the first one, was where we actually saw Tyler Shuck get his first chunk of playing time for the Saints. Now he's been their starter for the past month. He has a 1-3 record. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,068 passing yards. Honestly, I don't know what to expect from Tyler Shuck in this game. He's also got 51 rushing yards on the year as well. So it seems like he's been giving like very similar numbers to what we have seen from Spencer Rattler, who has 1,586 passing yards this year, 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which, by the way, like, quick side note, I do wonder, like, I feel like Spencer Rattler could still be a starting quarterback, like a low tier starting quarterback in this league. Like, he's not like terrible. Maybe he could just be a high end backup. I don't know. But also another thing to make a note of here, though, is that Shuck, I should say, has been sacked 14 times this season. Rattler's been sacked 18. So they also don't have one of their starting tackles for this game in Tyrese Fuaga, which is notable, and Alvin Kamara is out for this game as well. So a lot of injuries there for the Saints. You're probably going to be seeing a lot of Devin Neal. He has 108 rushing yards this year on 31 carries. In the case of Tyrese Fuaga, I honestly don't know who their backup tackle is. I can look it up real quick while we're having our conversation here. It looks like it is going to be Dylan Radins as the backup right tackle. Kelvin Banks Jr. is still in there at starting left tackle. And a lot of their offensive line is pretty much the same as to what it was in that initial matchup. Taysom Hill's back, though. I don't think Taysom Hill was there in the first game, and he is just an absolute headache. He is a very frustrating guy to go against, so I'm going to be curious to see if they do use him in a big way in this matchup. I feel like after Sean Payton left, Taysom Hill lost a lot of his luster, his shine, so to speak, so will be interesting to pay attention to as well. Chris Olave is still their top receiver with 781 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson has 576 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed was their number 3 guy with 499 and 2, but he's gone. So now you have Devon Vell, who's at 184 yards and 2 touchdowns, is kind of the main guy. Brandon Cooks was there, but he's also gone as well. So really, you've got Olave, Juwan Johnson, and Devon Vell as your 3 guys, main guys in that passing attack for the Saints there. Now, taking a look at the overall field goal situation that they've had, Blake Grupe is gone. And Charlie Smythe is in for them. Blake Grupe has been gone for 1 game now. Smythe came in, hit 1 field goal as a 56-yarder, so shout out to him for that. We'll see how that goes going forward. On the defensive side of things, Cam Jordan's bumped up his sack numbers to 6.5, which is it misleading? I mean, he's had 4 the past 3 games, and they played Carolina, Atlanta, and Miami. So I don't know. Maybe that's him like kind of still being a dog. Maybe that's the fact that they're just playing not very good offensive lines. I don't know. I leave that to you guys. But Chase Young's still out there doing some stuff. He's missed a few games, but he's been playing the past couple of games. He had a sack against Atlanta, a sack against Miami in there as well. Carl Granderson is still in there, being like just a very solid rotational guy for the Saints, although he has not had a sack since September 28th against Buffalo. So he's had pretty much a clean sheet. It's really been Cam Jordan and Chase Young. And now also you've got to consider that Tristan Wirfs is not going to be playing in this game, so that's a big deal. How is a backup tackle going to deal with Jordan and Young? I don't know. Hopefully they give whoever that tackle is some help there going forward. But top tackle guy is still far and away Demario Davis. You guys want to hear something crazy? So the number 2 guy on tackles this year for the Saints is Pete Werner, as we say here on the channel. 66 combined tackles. Demario Davis is at 111, dude. That's crazy. That is crazy. He's still the top guy in that Saints defense. Kool-Aid McKinstry has 3 picks this year. Justin Reed has 1. Alontae Taylor, Jonas Sanker, and Quincy Riley all have interceptions in there as well. Another guy worth mentioning, Brian Breesy, has 8 quarterback hits. He's still doing some interesting stuff. So really, we've gone over the notable players. When I think of what the Bucs need to do to win this football game, it's just rely on their stars. I mean, we saw Godwin get going last week. We saw Bucky Irving do some good stuff last week. And quite frankly, the Saints, look, they're missing Kamara. They're missing Fuaga, their starting right tackle. Like, you need to take advantage of this and attack what is a pretty weak Saints roster overall, in my opinion. The defense still has some pieces there. I'm not even gonna say that they don't. They do still have some good guys there. Is Justin Reed out? Yeah, Justin Reed looks like he's out. That's huge. Starting safety Justin Reed is out, so maybe attack that a little bit with some deep shots to Chris Godwin. Maybe get some other guys involved. Cade Otton, I don't know, man. I'm kind of done with Cade Otton. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. But, like, get something going with, get something going with Godwin, Emeka Ibuka, Bucky Irving. Just rely on your playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. On the defense, look, get after the rookie. Get after Tyler Shuck. Make him uncomfortable. He does not have a lot of pieces around him right now. Even Chris Olave is dealing with, like, back spasms, so you need to get after this guy. You need to make him uncomfortable, force him to make some mistakes, and just play complete football to give you the best chance of winning, in my opinion. I do think the Bucs will win this game. But real quick before we get out of here, guys, shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a 100% matchup up to $100. As you guys can see, making picks is as simple as hitting a couple of buttons. Also, if you guys do sign up, you get $20 for free. Simple as that. So make sure you go sign up for Sleeper today. Enjoy football the way it was meant to be. That is together. Huge shout out to Sleeper. Folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. See you soon, and go Bucs.